What's happening this week in Warcraft? Hey, it's Soul, and you can help support the channel by liking this video, subscribing for more WoW coverage, and catching me live where I'm streaming. A few hotfixes to point out from last week. There were lots of nerfs to the Mythic Plus experience to help ensure some early gearing and progression. It's a big round of incoming damage reduction across most dungeons, as well as a blanket 10% nerf to health and damage across all difficulties. Also, at key levels 2 and 3, player deaths will no longer mean additional seconds lost on the timer. Finally, trading currencies across the warband is mostly fixed with the exception of undercoins. According to a blue post, there's still an issue and hopefully it'll be resolved soon, if not by now. Season 2 has mostly opened up, but for less progression-minded players, it's a bit slower of a burn. Those who haven't had a chance to complete the raid will be able to jump into the story mode version of the final encounter that'll jump folks closer to the conclusion of the Undermined story. I'm making a few educated guesses here, but you'll likely need to have completed all the main quests leading up to where you're asked to defeat Gallywix in the raid in order to access the story mode encounter. I suggest looking around the Incontinental or the Galagio for someone to let us in. That's going to mean this week just about everyone will have access to this powerful enchanted runed crest for crafting gear up to an item level of 658, and you should have at most one crafting spark available at the moment. Raid Finder Wing 2 opens up, and I apologize for last week's error as there were only 2 bosses available, not 3. This week is no different, with Sprocketmonger Lockenstock and Styx Bunkjunker. It's 2 names that I'm sure their parents put a lot of love into. Lockenstock's loot includes chest tier tokens, and this interesting DPS trinket that can be reconfigured to deal single targets or cleave damage, and there's a healing trinket, or you can call it a tanking trinket for weirdos like me. Notable loot from Bunkjunker includes leg tier tokens, an agility trinket with an on use, and a tank trinket with decent uptime but what looks like not so great mitigation, but includes a nifty haste proc when not taking too much damage. Timewalking's back in town, and only for a week, featuring the Mists of Pandaria expansion. Clear 5 Timewalking dungeons for a shot at champion level gear from the current raid. With some of this gearing stuff in mind, now is a good time to nerd out for a bit on how to optimize your gearing during this early stage of the season. But I also want to make it clear, we're playing a video game, there's no need to stress out. These aren't laws, like your momentum of gearing is not going to be ruined if you don't follow them. These are just guidelines to consider if you've been mostly sitting on your gains. The idea is to ensure you're building tier set bonuses fairly quickly and making the most out of your one crafting spark so far. Ideally, you'll have filled out a good chunk of the Great Vault doing your favorite things. 6 raid bosses will fill out the raid row, although Raid Finder folks, they'll only have access to 4 bosses, so 2 of the 3 slots. 8 dungeons and 8 delves will fill out those respective rows too. Tier pieces have a chance to appear in any of these slots, so it might be in your interest to fill up the vault to give yourself the best chances at tier, or maybe a weapon or trinket too, because hey, hopefully you're also sitting on a creation catalyst charge to use when the time is right. When the new raid begins, check your Great Vault for goodies and identify items you might like, such as tier set pieces. But don't pick anything yet, just check out what possible choices to make. Next, consider your play schedule, which will determine your next moves, because maybe it's a good idea to do Raid Finder as soon as possible. The 2 wings this week offer tokens for the legs, the chest, the gloves, and shoulders. The Timewalking quest might drop a good piece for you too. And then there's whatever content you plan to tackle as soon as possible, or later in the week, like raids and bountiful chests from delves, the world boss, and more. The idea in my head when I think of stuff like this is, okay, when do I think I really need to make a commitment? For me, I raid on Tuesdays, so my plan is going to be to check the vault, then run Raid Finder in story mode, do my delves and timewalking, and then do my first night of raids. And then on Wednesday, I'll make a gearing decision because on Thursday, we'll go back to raiding and I'll probably be taking on content where I think I'll need better gear. So from that, I'll pick and choose my pieces with the intent to complete a 2 or 4 piece bonus using a catalyst charge if I have to, and craft 1 myth track piece of gear with the gilded I've been saving up. And side note, if you have been doing some elite delving, you'll be able to pick up another 31 gilded crest to craft a mythic level piece of gear. It's a pretty good deal for skilled solo folk. If I didn't need to pluck my choice out of the Great Vault up until this point, I'd probably choose something before the next reset. I could wait until after 2 and go through the motions once again, but at some point we gotta draw the line somewhere and just get something. Like I said, this is just a game, and as long as we're playing, we'll continue down this path of gearing up, trust me. And I want to take a moment to talk about the real rewards in this game. Like, check out these new Trenchcoat models available during this patch, and only during this patch. I'm just kidding. There's 3 of them, and here's how to get them. The Public Defender's Coat is the most straightforward one to get. You just need to complete all side quests in Undermine. One particular side quest is only available after completing the Undermine campaign, which involves defeating Gallywix in the raid. Fortunately, with story mode available this week, everyone's got access to it. Once all side quests are completed, you get an achievement and the snazzy Trenchcoat. The Breakneck Cabbie's Coat is a random reward for completing a job streak in Shipping and Handling, which means completing 10 jobs in a single session. You have a chance of earning this or other goodies after reaching Renown 8 and unlocking the perk Expert Haggler. Now, while I haven't tested this myself, at Renown 12 you'll unlock the Master Negotiator perk, which guarantees a reward after completing a streak, which potentially gets you access to this appearance faster. Now, as a slacker, I'm mostly going to wait for this particular perk, and even then, I'm just gonna do this whole streak thing once a week. Finally, the Darkfuse Lowdown Coat is earned after reaching Exalted Rep with the Darkfuse Solutions faction. They're unlocked after completing the Undermine campaign, which again will be accessible for everyone this week with the Story Mode raid. A quest in the Incontinental will get you started. The quick blurb on the Darkfuse is after unlocking the faction, you can mostly hard farm the rep through the mass killing of, well, pretty much everything in the zone and digging for junk. There are power-ups to help speed this process up a bit, but it's still gonna be a grind. The reputation itself is warbound, but the currency used to rep up is not, which I think ought to change. But your journey towards repping up will score you some goodies, including a mount, and in the end, this appearance. The Temple of Hot Mogu is the brawl, and over in Mythic Plus World, last week's affixes were Tyrannical Fortified with Ascendant as the Xal'atath affix. This coming week, it's predicted Pulsar is the affix, which replaced that other affix where you had to catch the balls, like I already forgot the name. Pulsar spawns orbs around each player, and other players have to intercept them within a certain time. It's supposed to be more friendly than that old affix, but we'll see how players handle it this time around. With 11.15 already on the PTR, we should expect more bits of news over the coming weeks. It should come as no surprise that most of my focus here on the channel is going to be on Horrific Visions, which is already shaping up to be tons more accessible and friendly for players looking for a bit of a twist on the Delve experience. Count on more updates there and elsewhere as we march on, but for now, we're still just getting started with Season 2, and I hope you enjoy yourselves. Please like the video, subscribe for more WoW coverage, catch me live, and I'll catch you later. Let's have Bob close us out. Stay safe, stay healthy, and stay breezy.
This is my non-stop obsession. I'm farming reputation down in Undermine. Shifting up to 20, I'll be famous. I'll be famous. Cartel picked, jumped in my ride, going 2 miles an hour so that everybody sees me. Brand's got my back, I've got his. I'm out of mana, rest in peace. So I'm gonna suit up and I'm gonna bust heads, cause it's all about family till I change it next week. My renown will go up, then I'm gonna dig trash, then I'm gonna dig trash, then I'm gonna dig trash. Done.